We are here, ladies and gentlemen. It is Kirin versus LOBADON time. But let's go over everything. So the chapter begins with the events inside the station. Cha and Snake attempting to go deal with El Baba, but they're stopped by the Phoenix, who isn't dead. An ability is pretty cool, saying that he can revive. And as he emerges, El Baba takes off with Laura, and Cha and Snake attempt to attack the Phoenix, but he kind of phases right through them. Not gonna lie, that reminded me of One Piece Marco the Phoenix, when sometimes you can't touch him. So I wonder how it works in his case. But he ends up snatching up the twins and running off as well. And so we switch over to Yuri and Tiara, and it appears that Tiara lost her pen. And Siyu got me looking bad. I scaled Tiara up a lot. She is Caliban level, because I thought that the pen was her ability. I mean, everything, all the evidence kind of pointed towards it, but I was wrong. And then here comes El Baba, and he is still the lamest father in the entire series. Brother Kirin, look at me, look at me. Kirin looking like Christmas came early, but Yuri is able to recognize that the situation just got complicated with Laura being captured, informing Tiara of who Laura is. And as she does that, incoming Phoenix with the twin sisters. And again, Brother Kirin, look at me. Bro, you can definitely tell that Trom did not show his kids love by the way these grown men want praise from Kirin. But as this is happening, Bomb messages Yuri to open up the gate, and Kirin tells Yuri and Tiara to surrender. I'm impressed by Yuri's deduction to be able to get the best possible outcome. So she tells Tiara to surrender, also letting her know that she stole her pen, which I found to be hilarious. But Yuri deduces that if Bomb is coming with LOBADON, then things can turn around the way they are now, and they may not have to save Laura and the twin sisters. But this part is weird. So she says to Tiara that she's going to give her pen back, but also says that she's going to give it to Bomb. We're going to have to come back to that, because I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. But Yuri uses her power as a 13-month princess, telling Kirin that she will not be held hostage. And this also gives a lot of credence to how important her position is, because obviously regular rules don't apply to 13-month princesses. So we stumble into GORURU, who says out loud that Kirin's been tricking him this entire time, saying that he's been using him to get Bomb outside of Lobopia's ship so he can capture him himself, which confuses me even more, because I still don't understand the revolutionary position between GORURU and Kirin and how they mesh. But as GORURU's running, he's interrupted by another officer in Kirin's army, and it turns out her name is PERPER, and she's hot. But she's another former branch head, which is given a lot of credence to Kirin's strength, being that his whole army seems to be full of high rankers. But as she's fighting GORURU, we get to see her pop out a lantern, which shows her manwha, which appears to be a sea urchin. Now this crosses over with Lobopia Candidi, who was serving like Balak and also got absolutely destroyed by Pobidu. I imagine that's who probably was going to steal her position. But GORURU also says that Kirin has been planning this betrayal for a long time, which also has me wondering more about the disappeared, destroyed branch. If Kirin's been planning this for a long time, I imagine that this branch has something to do with it. GORURU manages to evade PERPER by affecting her with some sticky saliva as we cross over back outside the station. So of course Lalaio's crying about being captured. Yuri's gonna go open the gate with that cake showing. Listen, I'm not often thirsty in Tower of God, but with PERPER and Yuri cake, it's Christmas. Yuri opens the gate for Bomb and Kirin to arrive, and LOBADON gets immediately to business, gripping up both Phoenix and El Baba. And I think that Siyu finally got the idea, guys, that Andraste is useless unless she uses Bong Bong. So I think the Bomb saga is over for a while. The Bomb ends up dropping the wolf and saving Laura, and we got it, ladies and gentlemen. LOBADON versus Kirin is being set up in front of our eyes, with LOBADON yelling at Kirin what he's doing here, and with Kirin looking salty like, why is this man here? So let's discuss. So as I just said, the fight is definitely going to be LOBADON versus Kirin, guys. And I think that Bomb probably deals with most of the branch heads, probably the Phoenix, probably alongside Yuri, Tiara, and Cha. The Phoenix, PERPER, any branch heads that want to go against them, Bomb and crew will probably take care of. But I think their priority is to escape, because you definitely want to get the weak people like Shalayo and Laura out of the way. But El Baba had quite the chapter. Man's trying to pull out any W's he can, but the Phoenix ability is quite broken. And I do think that he can die. There's no way a random scrub in the background has an ability that he can't die. And we clearly see LOBADON grab him up, so maybe his ability is based on catching him off guard or having superior Shinsu quality. And I hate to say this, but we have to scale Tiara down. But it appears that Gustang armed both Matt and Tiara with his own personal weapons for them to invade the Lobopia mothership. And it makes sense, only because being able to copy somebody's Shinsu quality and double it times 4 is a nuts ass ability. That crosses me over into Yuri saying that she's gonna give Bomb the pen. I don't like it. It just sounds like Yuri's gonna go around collecting abilities for Bomb to copy, which is gonna make bro even more broken than he already is. Like, seriously, CU, stop buffing Bomb. This chapter also explains to me why Yuri is such a confident character. I mean, not only being a hot family member, but I guess being a 13-month series gives you direct lines to Zahar's army having your back in any instance. And the way Kirin folded on pursuing Yuri, I get it. But moving forward, here are my predictions for next chapter. So I imagine GORURU makes his way outside. And I think what's going to happen is, while GORURU has an exchange for Kirin, he's also going to have to explain himself to LOBADON. So maybe we finally get the explanation on what Kirin and LOBADON are, because Kirin does have to answer to LOBADON why he's here. I think while this is happening, Bomb and gang form a plan to escape, as the former branch heads and LOBADON probably try to stop him. I also want to point out that since Kirin's army is full of former branch heads, Kirin definitely has resentment towards Trom, because these former branch heads all lost their positions, so they must hold some resentment for Trom for his decision. So if Kirin is employing people like that, so I would definitely say Kirin has his own resentment for Trom, and we still don't know what that is, but I'm gonna guess Destroy Branch. But I also think next chapter, on top of GORURU getting in the middle, we get the first exchanges between LOBADON and Kirin's fight, and I am hyped for that. We also might get a perspective change. We do need to see Gustang getting the book, and by now it should have arrived, so maybe we get a little bit of that. But other than that, chapters are 7 out of 10. Pretty solid. So guys, don't forget, Thursday 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be streaming and we can talk about the chapter as well as predictions. So I'll see you soon, and cheers to a good week.